of this event. And here we have Steve Jobs, and he will be sharing his experience in the form of AI powered style reviews, how to enhance content with real time feedback. And he has a wonderful demo here. And he works as a senior technical writer with Perfios. And welcome, we would like to welcome Steve, and let's see what he has for us. So, Steve, over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Puneet, for the warm welcome. Yeah, I am Steve, and I'm working as a lone technical writer at Perfios. I am responsible for managing 6 different products, the entire content strategy, information architecture, building, reviewing. All of them are like a one-man job for me. So from what I have done is like to how do I say it? The content that we normally validate using AI, we or copy the content from somewhere and paste it on a uh, Gemini or Postman or some interface to see whether if it align others to our organizational style guide. But what I have done is instead of doing copy pasting the contents, what if I can actually execute the program in the same interface where my program is running? Yeah, so for example, if I can share my screen and explain the use case that I have, you will have a better understanding. So when I hope my screen is visible, right? Hello?
Yeah, yes, it's visible.
Hope you can see my VS Code screen, right?
Yes.
So yeah, so when I started off my, I mean, when I started using AI, what I also used to normally do is I will come to Gemini window, and then from here I will have some prompts that I would have written to check the content accuracy. So let's assume if I have some prompt that I have written, this is a prompt that I had written. I'm not a prompt engineer, so you can bear with me here. So let's assume this is a prompt that I want to validate using my uh, I want to use for validating the content. So I have written the prompt, and then here I might write something like click the login button to login. So I want to validate the statement that I have written. So if I send to the Gemini, it will give me an output which says that, okay, this was the original sentence, this was the revised sentence, and why exactly you should use the revised sentence. So this is how I used to do validate my contents before. Um, but then as time went by, as you can see, initially it says select click the login button to login, but that's not the right sentence. You should use select sign in. So it all this thing was done just using the prompt that I had given here. So, but as time went by, Google and introduced the concept of gems. So, if you go to here, you see explore gems. So, what gems does is that here you can define your description, you can name your gem, and then provide instructions. That is the prompt that I just gave. And also, you can attach the Microsoft Style Guide PDF. So, once I have something like this, instead of writing the prompt all over again, I could actually just type the sentence that I wrote before. Click the login button to sign in. So if instead of writing the prompt, one aspect of that copy paste has been removed with the help of gem. So here it will, instead of writing the prompt, it is directly giving me the output as to why this click the login button to sign in is not the standard in Microsoft. Uh, you will see in a while. So that is the second approach that I used to do while doing my documentation work. As you can see, the click the login button to sign in is not the right sentence. It says you should use click sign in. Uh, so this was the second approach that I was following. Also, there was another approach which is more complex than that, which is to use the Postman collection for doing the same thing. So in your if you have if your organization have exposed APIs for you to work with, you could actually leverage a Postman collection wherein you can give the prompt. This is the prompt that I used in Gems as well as the Gemini example. And here I am writing the what you call the content that actually the AI has to validate. So if I send a postman request, it will come up with a message as to, oh, corrections needed. You see, you should sign up first for accessing the content. Some kind of message it is coming up. So these were some three different approaches that I had with me before I found the concept of using tasks in VS Code. So if you go to VS Code, there is a section called uh, task. So now what I do is, if I have some content, let's say this is a ASCII doc content, and I also have a markdown content. If assume I want to validate the contents that is written in this markdown file, I don't copy paste and put somewhere else. That initially, before I identifying the task feature in VS Code, what I used to do is I will go to the terminal, give the file name, which is my script that is using the Python program is called main.py, and after that I will write the file name, just test.md. So what it will do is it will load the content into the Python program, validate whether if there are any style guide inconsistencies, and it will print all the output here. As you can see, from that document of test.md, it had these many 45 sentences were analyzed, and out of which it found 9 violations. And all of these violations are documented here. So this was another approach. The problem with this approach is that I have to open my main.py folder, load the, copy paste the test.md file into this folder, or I could create one folder and paste the content here. That's how I actually was doing before, but that was also quite manual for me, and I wanted a bit more automation to do here. So what I found is there is a concept of task, which is, if you go to Control Shift panel, and if you see here, there is something called as task run task. Here I have created a automation workflow kind of a thing, which is validate with MSTP. So if I am in some document, it doesn't matter where the file is located. So I can open a new window. And here, let's assume I want to open a folder which is of, let me see. I have opened this folder. Here I will have some MD files. Yeah, let me use this as an example of running the style guide. So my Python program is located in some other location and directory, and my file is in some other directory. So how will I execute the program? Here I don't need to do anything. I'll just press Control Shift P, and here if I click on Run Task, there is a task that I have created, which is Validate with MSTP. So as soon as I run that Validate with MSTP, all the files that are available in this window, it is running inside the program, and it is giving me the output. So this 30 out of this, it has analyzed 12 sentences, and it has found 3 violations. So these violations are documented here. So the first statement is after the statement request API, then the client download the data using the storage URL. These are some of the validations it has given me from the content that is in the current document. The how did I set it up? So for that, you can go to via VS Code and select uh, configure task, and then here you can specify, sorry, you can go to configure task, and other task is what I have to get. Let me see if I can find. Yeah, let me try another window. Configure task. Here it should show me an option called others. Create task.json file from template. Here actually you will define all the things that you want to execute. So here I'm giving a value label name, which is that file name that you saw when you press Control Shift P. Then what kind of command it is? It's a shell command, meaning you're running this command from the terminal. And what kind of program it is? It's a Python 3 because I'm using Linux, it's Python 3. But if it's a Windows machine, it will be Python. And then where exactly is your file located? My file is located in this folder. And dollar file means it is the file should be loaded dynamically. So that's what dollar file indicates. I don't know what exactly this means. I took it from the VS Code documentation, but I don't really understand. I have not explored as to what exactly this does. So once you save the file, if you close the window and open it back, and if you press Control Shift P and run task, that name which you have created will pop up here. And once you click on that, the program will execute and it will give you the right the whatever the output based on the prompt that you have generated. Yeah, basically this is the only thing that I have done. Yeah. Any questions?
Hey, thank you, Steve. This looks very useful. So, people, any question? Any thoughts? Okay, in the chat, we can see how long did it take you to master VS Code? Okay. Steve, would you like to take that?
I mean, there is nothing to master as such in VS Code. Like it's more like an IDE or like a text editor. If you have used Sublime Text or if you have used Notepad, you can consider VS Code as something like that. And let's assume if I want to write content in this VS Code, what I will do is I will go to new window, and this whenever you install an VS Code, this is the window that you will see. You don't need to explore anything. You click here, you'll open a folder, and let's assume I have a folder called TWT. I open that folder, and yeah, the folder is created. Now if I have to create a file, you open this file and give a file name. Let's assume I want to create a MD file, so I'll give a name test.md, and the file is created. Now this is what you will see in any notepad or any what you call Google document or Microsoft Word. This is more like that kind of window. And here you will write whatever content you want. And once the content is done, if it is a markdown file, you can use something called as sidebar. Here actually you can actually preview whatever you're writing in markdown. So, I mean, as Deepu mentioned a long time back, learning, all of us technical writers could be coming from a non-technical background. So there, as with the help of AI, we should not be facing any issue as to, initially when we did not have any AI, even when I started off as a non-technical writer, the amount of feedback or the amount of questions that I can ask someone has a limitation. Like I have to first find out whether if that person is available, it has to match with your calendar, all those bottlenecks that I had. But now with the help of AI, if I have something to ask, I can go to any AI tool and ask the question, and it actually giving me the required output. So within 1 year, I have like increased my productivity to a great extent, and I have been posting on LinkedIn of to what all kind of automation innovations that I have done in my organization. So similarly, if you have tools like ChatGPT or Claude, Gemini, there are so many AI tools. You keep exploring any questions that you have. You put rubbish prompt, and it will actually help you, become a good prompt engineer or AI expert. You don't need to be an expert in prompt engineering. You don't need to understand, okay, first I have to give a task, then I have to provide examples. Those are like advanced level of prompt engineering. You only put rubbish things. It will actually help you help you become a good expert or good technical writer is what I believe.
Wonderful answer. Thank you so much, Steve. And yep, anyone else has any other thoughts on Steve's demo or any other question? Okay. So looks like we don't have questions. So we'll wind up this session. So thank you so much, Steve. And I think it's very self-explanatory and very well presented. So thank you so much.
I will also create a task topic with regards to how to use this VS Code task in my website. So maybe in the upcoming week, one day I will post on how to actually, use this task.
Yep, that would be great. And yeah, I see one question. I think probably it's related to the task file, so it should be for you. Ruchita has asked, do we have to provide a reference to the MSTP file in the task file?
No, I haven't provided the MSTP file directly like the way I did it in GEMS. I have only given a prompt. So my prompt is quite basic, but if you are advanced user, you can actually, do trial and error and find out what kind of how the prompt should be. For my prompt, it is quite simple and it is actually giving me whatever I want. But based on your use case, you can actually, rewrite and do a better prompt. If you are good at prompt engineering, you can actually write bigger and longer prompts. Only thing you have to be aware of is that the one which I'm using is my company's AI. They have allocated an API key, and that API, that program is running within my office environment. So the API, the AI tool also is for my within my office environment. Normally, if I don't know if other organizations actually give AI API keys access to run the AI, so that is something that you have to watch out for. If you do not get an API key, you can actually leverage the Olama LLM, and that is quite open source and it's run locally. So I may see if I have a time to actually do the same thing using Open API, I mean Olama key. The current task and the Python program that I'm using is run using Open API key, but that is for internal use and it is done only, it is controlled within our office environment. So anything that I am executing, it is not getting trained on Open API's LLM. So they have some flexibility with regards to that.
Wonderful. Yeah. And I think for office environment, whatever you are using, it's more for internal use also. So, you know, why I'm asking this is because there are two questions. One here and one somebody has asked in the while registering the for the event also. So here, Anu is asking, what is
So the prompt
this?
that I have used is this one for generating this output.
Okay, so great. You have already answered her question. So that's great. So actually, so this question primarily is for both of you, Steve and Satya both. So somebody has asked in the registration form, filled the question, will there be an opportunity to test these prototypes after the session or contribute to their development feedback? So I'm not sure. What I gather is this is very much official thing for both of you. So is there a
So
possibility?
I have not, this is not a tool that I have created. So, I mean, it could be applicable for Satya, but this is not any tool. I'm just using functionality that has already existed in the VS Code. So, I mean, I don't know how somebody can actually, reuse it in their environment.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and
From my end, I think I can share the basic things that I have built in as a part of GitHub projects in my personal GitHub project, so I can make it public and maybe people can download it and install it in their machine. I'll just ensure that my organization rules are not mentioned in that Python file,
exactly.
and I'll put a very basic thing and also add some instructions, readme document though it contain, but I'll add it more generic, information in the document and share it with the with everyone, Puneet. For that, I need a little bit time, but definitely I'm active in our WhatsApp channel and I'll keep posting about it. Yep.
Yeah, certainly. And yep, so certainly, I mean, and well, we all, I mean, fine, we are seeing this demo, we are sharing knowledge here, wonderful. But anything official, please be very sure that you take a permission from your office. These are very dangerous things, actually, if office things are shared. So please make sure whatever you share is not, against any kind of rules, flouting any kind of rules. Okay, so yeah, so for I think so the second part of the question was or contribute to their development feedback. So I'm not sure who has asked this question and if that person is in this meeting right now, but contribute to their development feedback. I think this is what our focus is through this ad. Why we have named it separately ad event. It's not generally a webinar or a demo or something. So if anybody who is expecting a very professional demo, so that this event will be very waste of time for you. But this thing is for collaboration. You see a few things, what you have seen, what Satya has done, what Steve has done. Now, Steve has already given many pointers that how this can be, others can, with experience, knowledge or something, others can also try their own ways. So that's what, yeah, feel free to do something on that line and then also share it. You also share it, I think. So for those of you who don't know or who are not in this, our AI for technical writing or WhatsApp group, the topic-based community, this is how it started. Somebody asked a question there, different people pitched in, answered, and we came up that, okay, let's bring it to an online event. Okay, so you also do something and share there so that others should also know. So, yep. And Satya has also mentioned that he will check with his organization and try to share his GitHub project. So, yep, collaboration option is certainly available. Uh, do I see? Yeah. Go ahead.
One thing I would like to ask and know others opinion as well. Like I have noticed this. So when we try to use any of the AI model, let's say for example, we have a possibility of using Perplexity by using Airtel mobile number, right? We can get the upgraded version of it for free. So did you ever guys observe this thing? Because I have noticed it initially when I tried to use this Perplexity, the upgraded version. I used to get a good amount of good results. As I move forward, like some weeks, traveling with that journey, I noticed that it has reduced or stopped its flexibility to give good results. I did not see the same kind of enthusiasm in it in the starting, in the later point. I felt like maybe it is trying to make me feel sweetened to and get adapt to it, and maybe forcing me to upgrade to a new thing. So did you ever guys observe this pattern, or is it only me?
I have two answers for that. First thing, whenever a model changes, you have to also update your prompts or the way you interact with it based
Mhm.
on the model's new features.
Okay.
Classic example, when ChatGPT 5 was released, people
Mhm.
hated it so much that they went back to 4.5. So ChatGPT said, okay, we'll also keep the 4.5 for your convenience rather than making it a default. Now, if you go into ChatGPT Go or something, it is a default. Only in Plus subscription, you can go and select it separately.
Mm.
One
Okay.
answer. Second answer is that as you get used to these tools, you will obviously feel that it is ultimately not giving you good answers
Mm.
based on your level of expertise. So it is a common
Okay.
behavior.
Okay.
See if you can change your way of interaction based on the model functionalities. The best way to figure that out would be whenever there is a new model, they usually demo it and they list out the benchmarks or what is the better way to interact with it. See, go watch it, see if you can change, if you have to change something in your
Right.
original prompts or workflows. If
Right.
you still are not getting good results, maybe that might, what you felt might actually be true.
Yeah. Sure, Balu. Yeah, because I noticed it while developing the script, for various reasons. So initially, it was very much good in getting it to that level, and it helped me to update the existing file as well with the latest content. But going forward, what happened? What happened? It was like it was only suggesting me to add it certain areas rather than updating the whole script of that particular file. And I need to repeatedly ask the same question in multiple ways to get the sorted out. So I just noticed it, moving forward. It not just with the Perplexity, I also noticed with Gemini, and the same with even Copilot as well. So that's the reason I just asked. Yeah, thanks, Paulo.
Wonderful. And so we will have one answer also that it's not about upgraded versions, it's more about which version is more stable. So yeah, at times that happens certainly. And Shweta feels that yeah, Perplexity will take some more time to get to the level you are. That's a good one, Shweta. Okay, so wonderful. And first of all, let me stop the recording because we will be sharing recording. So this all will go to Steve's part. Sorry, Steve, in your